I'm a bit like lime green at the moment, aren't I? 1 second. Close my door with a crash and a bang. It's a bit like my life at the moment. But yeah, it's exhausting, man. If I'm honest, it's the only way I can really describe it at the moment, because Mercury retrograde is on steroids and amphetamines, and I don't know what it's smoking, but it is not in any way merciful. And essentially, Mercury retrograde, what I'm labelling as Mercury retrograde, what I believe is just my mental health taking advantage and abusing, well, the situation. It's like I saw Mercury retrograde. I purposely don't follow astrology, but I was on Facebook and I spotted it. I spotted that it was going to be Mercury retrograde, and it's like my mental health just, to be honest, I don't know. Well, no, it is, but I don't know. What I mean is just like, today with my action plan, I'm ignoring how unbelievably bad life is at the moment. I'm just ignoring it until Saturday. So in other words, where I found myself in the depths, depression and whatever you want to call it, I realised on a physiological level the stress wasn't doing me any good, and if anything it was keeping me there. So on a physiological level, it was like imperative I address the stress, and I've been trying to do it for months and I've not been getting anywhere. And then today, and then recently, since Mercury retrograde, it's just kicked into another gear. And if I ever had a chance of getting back in control before, since Mercury's in retrograde, it's like there's no chance. There's no chance at all. So I don't like ever doing this with my life. I like to be honest in the first instance, but as a means to plan steer my life in a direction I'd rather prefer it to go, I said to myself, I'm just going to have to ignore all the pain this week, and pray I can get my life back into check some way. Well, I mean, it's been easier. It's been easy because it's not been easy. That's a mistake. So, but it's been easier than how bad things were, and the way I was trying to manage before, just lying to myself. But things are still tough, man. Things are still really, really hard. It's like, the good news is, and this is what I mean about the insulation, my uncle walked out on me and doing all the work for the boat last week. So I found myself in a place where I was I can't. I've got to do all the work myself now. He took his time, my uncle, with how things were progressing with the work, and I didn't think anything of it because I was just thinking, all right, well, it's my uncle, he's not going to take the piss out of me. I thought he was applying some sort of 80-20 philosophy, because every time he'd come to the boat, he'd see where the work was, see how the job was progressing. About to get a move on, so like on day 4 of him being here, we're about to really kick into gear, and then there'd be a delay, and that might last 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks. That's happened 2-3 times now, and that's every single time. It's like we're just about to kick into gear, oh, grind to a halt, oh, grind to a halt. So I forgave my uncle in the moment. There wasn't anything that I felt I needed to say to him. As I said, I didn't think my uncle would take the piss. But last week, I'd done my best to moderate my mental health as much as possible for my uncle. Just with my own life, my own managing of my mental health, it became too much. The censoring in front of him, you know, it was like, I just need to be me with my mental health, otherwise it's not doing me any good. I'm just going to constantly explode. My mum was my great aunt. She's a psychoanalyst, and she always had a way to describe my mum. Neurotic. My mum's neurotic, in other words, and the way I understand that, because I don't really understand neurotic, this is what I mean, man. This is Mercury retrograde right here. I used this coffee mug earlier, and I've just spotted it now, and the filter's broken. Why the filter's broken, I don't know. And it's just like a constant. But yeah, the way I understand neurosis is my mum holds in whatever's bugging her in life and hopes it goes away. And with my mum, it was my dad, obviously, when they used to argue. Pardon me. And every so often it'd get too much for my mum. Every few weeks, every few months. And when my the time loving, or her idea of that, she'd explode, you know, whatever would be, it would get too much for her, and she'd have a go at my dad, or have a go at me and my sister. And well, I've taken that family trait. It's not pleasant. But yeah, it just got too much. I can moderate it at times, but I realised I'd hit my limit with my uncle, and nothing personal, just with the situation. And I was here at the boat, and my uncle's here, and I was really bad. I think I must have taken him by surprise. And I said to him, look, Cos, if you want to carry on the work, this is how I'm going to be. My mental health. You can either stay or you can go. And I gave him the choice. I didn't hold him to anything. I didn't expect anything of him, because I understand how bad I am with my mental health, and somebody else is in my home, and I'm just off with the fairies from a perspective. And he walked out. But in honesty, I'm in total shock, because if there's anyone in this world that's grounded and understanding, it's my uncle. I'd never have expected him to have walked out on me and left me in the lurch just because I was being myself. That's not my uncle. So I don't know what he's did, why he did that. But either way, I am where I am. And I don't have the money to hire anybody else, because the way the work happened with my uncle, it's like, really, I'm certain I owe him money. I'm not going to pay him the way it happened. Not at the moment. Not unless communications re-established somehow. But it's all hands on deck. I mean, my life ground to a halt earlier this year when I was doing the work, and I realised I couldn't bend over. My back's been playing up for quite a while. But, I guess having my uncle say he'd do the work has taken a lot of the pressure off. And it was always like, my Uncle Cos has got this, my Uncle Cos has got this, don't worry about the boat, get the rest of my life into check. A lot of pressures in my life, and at the same time I've been on the boat, and I've seen the boat, and I know it's hard, but each time you go to do a job, like, what am I going to do, how am I going to, etc. To be present and think, because your body's just not here. It makes it difficult. With the pressure removed, and with what should have been a four to 6 week job back in March, I should have moved in by April, the latest. It should have been completed. I've had March, September, 7 months, the best part of 7 months to see the job, see the boat. So that makes it easier as well. Anyway, he's walked out. My life became a living hell where I had no enjoyment, no hope, other than just pure survival and just on a daily basis, so as not to worsen. Because if I stop, I want to be homeless, I want to be on medication, lose money, and none of those things are pleasant, and there's always work on the other side of those. They're not pleasant, and when things aren't pleasant, they require work. There isn't a route out in terms of depression, there isn't a route suicide for me, either of those. Depression and suicide are an option. And I just continue. I don't know with everything how much I'm going to be able to achieve, but I didn't stop, I didn't think about it. I just like, right, what's the first thing I need to do? I didn't think about to that point. Sessions in truth, in other words. With the flat, I've said to myself, right, if I never go back to the flat again, I have to accept it. And most of my belongings are at the flat. Just got some essentials here at the boat. But that's the commitment I had to make. The severance to life. To be able to deal with doing so. To make a start here. But anyway, I found insulation boards so I can be warm here. I want to put it on the outside of this so I get a bit more headspace inside. There's no headspace, man. So they've just been delivered. I've exhausted myself carrying them to the boat, but you know, just been a bit savvy. I've saved myself, well, no, either the front two cabins on the boat, front and back, and with how much they are in the shops, be able to do about half the boat. Just have to work as they are. Roofer, for rich people or people without no sense of the building trade or their property. You know, good condition insulation boards, double thickness, extra, and for half the price. So I've got all of that's one, and they're double. I would never of extra thickness. On board, just on top of the reality, my life. So that's my last admission to hospital. It was I forget an injustice, but it was what it was, and I have to carry on. That's my life. Where it was traumatizing, and I was medication makes me with life. One thing. To see what September, 5 months. It's taken me to get my life together where I can did some today. Oh no, that's it. Then I had the big generator out of diesel, which is strange. I'm sure it should have had. Right, I've got to go and get some diesel. I've got to go and get some ingredients for dinner. I've got to go and pick up my Amazon order where it's delivered to the local locker. And I've got to draw the money for the guy dropping in. In the general. If it was older, that shouldn't have happened. It should have been able to carry that current because basically it was just getting too hot. I was thinking. Anyway, I started the generator back up. Then all the electrics started playing up again. They started to blow. The angle grinder, which I needed to clean a bit of metals, then that kept blowing. Then I had to run the new wire. Then I had to get to do the job of the angle grinder because the angle grinder wasn't charging. Started. Then it cut out. Anyway, long story short, I didn't manage to do any more welding today because it was like, I never watched that film, I can't remember what it's called, but basically all the electric people put their hands down out of the massa. It doesn't matter in this horror movie if the electrics are off. If you put your hand near turn on, it was just a bit like so quickly, one thing after another, and that's Mercury retrograde, I guess. But it's on steroids or smoking something. It's never been like that to me before. I'm serious. There's something going on at the moment, you know. On top of the to do. Basis, I can get the work done. If it doesn't, I can't. Now to look at the generator, I've got to repair the welder, and I can carry on. But man, it's just surreal. It's like I'm living in some I joked last year, and it sounds inappropriate for me to say it now. Last year, and a witness to what was going on, and the only way I can describe it is like my life has AIDS or a serious disease, It's like I'd move around the room and things would just break around me, man. It's unbelievable. When things happen like that. I mean, I've always had bad energy, you know. I'm a walking disaster zone, but disaster zone, not because I'm doing anything, just because I'm breathing and walking. If I was to sit, I reckon I'd break time, space and reality. That's probably why I can't sit down at the moment. Right, if this human being sits down, that's it. It's just going to fall apart. We're going to have a black hole form. Stop him from being able to sit. That's why I haven't been able to sit properly for a year and a half. I've heard. But look at that. It's a tip, but I'm well impressed with myself. The stove, it's all done. I've repaired it. Even managed to polish it. And put up yesterday, and it just feels good. I'm lying to myself about the fact my life has a serious disease at the moment. I might have to go to the doctor. My life's got a serious disease, and can